Hello everyone, welcome for this new episode of the ESO news. Today we are the 8th June 2016 and it's my birthday! Yay! We are not going to speak about that, we are going to speak about the release of the DarkBrotherhood DLC, which has been released the 31 May for PC and Mac and will be released next week for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. We have some poison making to discuss, some cheating and hacking, and of course some data mining that will be very exciting. Let's go! Can we say if the DarkBrotherhood DLC release had been a success or not? Well, so far it didn't cause as much problem as the Thieves Guild DLC, so there's less bug, but there is still some problems. For instance, a group finder is completely broken. People do not find a group when they queue. The queue lasts 1 hour or more, even as healer or as tank, so it's not a question of role. Some people, when they use the group finder, are matching with other players and it creates a group of 5 persons. So there is still going really wrong in that group finder. Apparently it works for full pre-made group, but not when people are queuing, maybe alone or with a buddy. Zenimax have applied several hotfixes for this, but nothing worked so far. Another issue is some very huge FPS drop. This could be caused by some people automatically defaulted to DirectX 9 instead of DirectX 11. Also, there is a change with the particle effect. Before, the particle effect was gated, so after a certain number of particles in heavy fight, for instance, you will not see any particle at all. Since the Thieves Guild this has been changed, everyone can see the particle. And so in heavy situation, if your computer is not the best one, it can cause some problems. So the solution to that is to reduce the particle distance or the particle effect intensity in the option. Beside that, apparently people enjoy the DarkBrotherhood. We have seen a lot of people sharing their execution with the Blade of the Wu with pleasure. I tried to have feedback via social media and I didn't got so many answers, so I guess people are too busy playing the game than to answer me. But it's sad. I would like more interaction. So people, if you follow me on Twitter and if I ask a question, do not hesitate to share your feedback, to share your screenshot. I would like to involve more the community as a whole in this series of the ESO news. I've seen a lot of players playing in the Golden Coast, so I guess that the DLC is quite a success. One of the new features with this DLC that is applied to the base game, so you do not need to purchase the DarkBrotherhood to have access to it, is poison making, and this has been explained lengthily in the last ESO Live. So, poison making is an addition to alchemy, so instead of doing potion, you will do poison. It all makes sense. Instead of using water as a solvent, you will use oil, and oil you find on greasy, disgusting monsters like trolls, ogre, wamasu, some daedra, etc. It doesn't drop very often, but when it drops, it's by big pack. Also, when you create a stack of poison, it's a bigger pack than when you create some potion. 8 new ingredients have been added, 1 herbs, which is the nightshade that you can find everywhere in the world, and 7 insect parts that you can find in several ways. First, you can loot some butterflies and other torch bugs and hope to find some insect part, or you can kill monsters like spiders, etc., which are relevant to dropping some insect part, and you can find spider eggs and some other stuff like that. When you create poison, it's exactly the same way than potion, so you need to discover the effect of the new ingredients and combine them together to find the poison. You equip the poison on your weapon. It replaces the enchantment without suppressing it, but you need to understand that it's not a replacement. It's not the same thing than an enchant, so it will not last forever. The poison are consumed. It's the equivalent of a potion, so you will need a big stack of poison on your blade if you want to have your blades constantly poisoned. So to be exact, you have a 20% chance proc and a 10-second cooldown, and the poison is consumed. And once your stack of poison is consumed, the enchantment is taking over. So it might be interesting to think carefully when you want to use poison. Maybe you don't want to use poison all the time when you are farming mobs. Maybe you want to use them on a specific boss or when you're PvP only. But you can have in your inventory and then you place it in your bar, and until you take it off, it will be the poison that take over the enchantment. A lot of players were worried regarding certain poison because certain poison are very potent and can be very useful. Some other players do not find the poison very useful or more useful than an enchant. So you have different opinion. I guess that's the whole point of the thing. It gives you more possibility, more theory crafting possible, and we will see a lot of discussion regarding the use of the poison in a certain video build, like I'm sure Deltia introduced already the poison in his build. If you want to know more about poison making, I recommend you to check Miss B's guide about it. Some serious case of cheating and hacking has been reported by the community, and it's actually quite a big deal. Some players have managed to use a third-party software, and with this they can do absolutely everything they want. For instance, infinite ultimate, which can be quite annoying in PvP situation or in the leaderboards if they are competing with others in the Milestone Arena, etc. So this has been heavily reported by the community to Zenimax, and Zenimax have finally answered. Jessica Folsom have shared an answer in the forum reassuring the players and saying that Zenimax is currently working on a fix and an improvement to prevent this kind of hacking. They are also adjusting the anti-cheat system to adapt to the new hacking currently in use at the moment, and they have also bans several players permanently, and when I say several players, it's a very large number of players. Obviously they are investigating some other players that have been accused of cheating, so continue to report everything you find a little bit weird. If you are getting constantly killed in PvP, whatever, if you suspect some cheating and some hacking, please continue to report. Zenimax is working on it. Now the community is not completely satisfied. While some players were rejoicing at this answer, some others were not completely satisfied about it because they claim that some bugs and some hacking and cheating has been reported since day one, and that there is no solution that has been found. So it's a delicate situation. I hope that Zenimax will manage this, because you cannot have any sort of competition when you have hackers and cheaters like that. It ruins completely the competitivity of the game, and that sucks because it's a very big part of the Elder Scrolls Online. Now let's speak about a very exciting subject. Not long ago, Tamriel Foundry have published a very interesting article written by Dominoid sharing some data mine information. So everything that is data mine is not official, but it's serious enough to make serious presumption about what it can be. So the future revealed through those data mine information is very exciting. The new zone that is currently being developed, apparently, not officially, is Vvardenfell, and every Morrowind fan will be extremely excited about that. So Vvardenfell will be a huge zone, probably the size of Orsinium. It contains 6 delves, 6 world boss, 12 raid shrine, 1 or 2 public dungeon, and 1 group dungeon called Cradle of Shadow, and Cradle of Shadow could be related to Evergloam, which is the realm of the Prince Nocturnal. Also, another item that has been data mined is a Crown Store item, which is the access to 2 new dungeons for update 11, which is quarter 3, for the dungeon Ring of Mazatum and Cradle of Shadow, which could suggest that the quarter 3 DLC will be 2 new dungeons barber shop and housing. And why housing so close? Simply because the information in the Vvardenfell map reveal 3 housing plots. So that will suggest that the housing will happen before the release of Vvardenfell zone. There's much speculation to do regarding the story that we could find in Vvardenfell. So spoiler alert, if you have not done Orsinium, do not watch this. Close your ear. At the end of the chain quest of Orsinium, you meet the prophet, and the prophet is sharing with you a prophecy that says once the gate of Shoutouts reopen, a war between the Daedra will happen. Will it be related to Vvardenfell? We know that Shoutouts should not be situated in Vvardenfell, but more in Blackmarsh. Maybe it will be related to Murkmire? So many speculation about that. But what for sure is that the speaker in the DarkBrotherhood DLC at the very beginning of the chain quest say that the DarkBrotherhood has problem in Vvardenfell. Will we find another chain quest related to the DarkBrotherhood in that DLC? This is another possibility. End of spoilers. So I recommend you to read this article on Tamriel Foundry. They also have published very recently another article that speaks about general speculation about the future of the Elder Scrolls Online and what we can expect in future update, which is also very exciting. And do not miss the Tales of Tamriel episode 108 called We Are Going Back to Vvardenfell, where Agelos, Avioptimal and Isari from Tamriel Foundry and Errant Penman are speaking about this data mining information and what we can expect for the future. We can expect all of this information to be shared at the BE3, which is the event organized by Bethesda just before the gaming convention E3. And I'm going, by the way. This is exciting! So you can count on me to share with you all information related to what I will learn at this event, and I will make a special edition of the ESO news to share everything I've learned. Maybe with some image and everything. I'm very excited. It's the first time I'm going to the United States. It's quite a travel for me. Anyway, what do we have this month in the Cron Storm? First of all, in addition of the DLC DarkBrotherhood, you can find the mount, the Highland Wolf, which is very beautiful, that you can purchase separately or together with the collector edition of the DarkBrotherhood. And you also have the pets, the Sylvan Nixad. They are available since the 31 May and for PC and Mac, and the 14 June for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. But it's not only that, you also have the Trethan ceremonial dress, which is probably the last of the Bosmer dress that you can find, and it will be available starting the 30 June. You can find also some hats. This is a new item, so now you can have hats that are separated from your costume, and so you can combine different things together. You have the Sylvanary Felt by Coquette, and the Zen Vengeance Kiss Me Not cap. What a name. Another pet is the Northern Links that will be starting the 23 June on all platforms. Something that the community was awaiting with impatience is additional character slot that you can now purchase in the Cron Store with a maximum of 4. Another big debate regarding the Cron Store is the price of the Moonstroma Trasenche. I've shared my personal opinion on this channel. You can find it easily if you want to know what I think about it. But basically the community was shared regarding this question. You had some person that were very shocked about the price of this mount because they thought that it was way too expensive, that Zenimax was becoming greedy to the point where it was flirting with craziness, while some other, like me, that think that it's not a big deal because it's a cosmetic item, so it's up to each person to decide if they want to invest that much money in just a month or not. Personally, I didn't purchase it because I thought it was too expensive for the pleasure I will get from it, but I don't disagree with the principle. As long as it's cosmetic item, they can sell them for the price they want. It will be up to people to decide if they want to purchase them or not. So that closed the news for the Cron store. This week I would like to do several shoutouts. The first one is a big congratulations to Gina Bruno, one of our community manager, that just got a little baby girl called Jamie. So huge congratulations to you and a happy life for your little girl. What's fun is that the labor started just few hours after the last ESO live, so it was almost a ESO live baby. Imagine how exciting it would have been if suddenly the team was like, oh, we have to cut the ESO live, I'm sorry, I think I have to go, and then the ESO live shut down. That would have been cool, no? Well, anyway, huge congratulations. The second shout out goes to Kratmasai again, but this time is huge congratulations for her wedding. She just got married with her husband that she met in the Elloa School online actually, so this is really cool. Or maybe I've misunderstood, but I think they met in the Elloa School online. Maybe not, maybe my information are wrong on this. I'm sorry if it is. Anyway, huge congratulations and a lot of happiness for both of you. She also has made a very interesting stream when she revealed several big announcements. So I will not say them here because I prefer, if you're interested, that you go check on her Twitch TV channel the replay of these announcements and you see for yourself. It's at the start. She announced big change in her life. The third shoutout go to the forum user and player Tevalaur, which has made a huge work on crafting, so you have all information and all update for every crafting that you have in the game, which include of course alchemy, poison making, but also the change for enchantment, etc. So go check this. It's a forum post with a link to a lot of PDF pages, and it's very well made. So this is something that the community need to know about. And voila, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Do not hesitate to share it with everyone you know if you think it's a good episode. And I will see you next time. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.